All right, let's bring in South Carolina Senator now Lindsey Graham for more reaction to the breaking news. Sir, I asked Andy McCarthy a moment ago, going to ask you now, if this makes the job presented to you, your House colleagues who are officially investigating Hunter Biden, easier or more challenging?
Well, I think they're trying to make it harder, but this was a political decision, not a legal decision. They're trying to put out a fire, and they just poured gasoline on it. Nobody in their right mind believes that making him a special counsel, Mr. Weiss, cleans up the mess that's been created. If it weren't for the House of Representatives, we wouldn't know any of this if it weren't for the whistleblower. Now, here's what the whistleblower said. On October 7th, 2022, I was in a room where Mr. Weiss told me, FBI agents, IRS agents, that decision to bring charges and where to bring charges, he was overruled. Wasn't his decision. So on June 7th, he writes a letter of this year to Jim Jordan saying, I have all the authority I need. I've been granted. He writes one to me 3 weeks later. I could have all the authority I need. This doesn't pass the smell test. What they've tried to do is give Hunter Biden a deal that no other American would get. The judge asked hard questions. The plea agreement blew up. And to think that the very guy who wrote the plea agreement is seriously going to continue to investigate the Bidens is laughable. Andy is dead right. The guy that wrote the plea agreement did it in a fashion to give Hunter Biden the biggest break maybe in American legal history. Does anybody in their right mind trust the Weiss team to continue to fairly and impartially investigate the Hunter Biden-Joe Biden matter? I don't. So you've changed the title, but the problem's still the same.
Really interesting. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. So you say this is a political move, not a legal one.
Totally.
Then what are the political implications for the president and his re-election bid, do you believe?
This is like the dumbest, dumber than dirt political move. On a Friday afternoon, and anything bad you want to talk about on a Friday afternoon, they make a 4-minute announcement. We're going to turn Weiss into a special counsel to remove any and all doubt. Andy's right. There is no ongoing investigation of Hunter Biden or Joe Biden. Why would you accept a plea to half the case if you were continuing to investigate the guy for other crimes? Nobody ever does that. The only reason we're talking about this is the plea deal blew up because of a good judge. In that plea agreement, they were going to wipe out all the financial transactions as a potentially criminal if he did the diversion agreement on the gun. There's never been a deal like this in the history of America. So the judge blew up the deal, and Weiss, according to the whistleblower, has had pressure on him from day one to short-circuit this investigation. So when I hear the Attorney General tell me today, I'm going to make Weiss special counsel, that creates more problems and than answers that it gives.
Senator, just want to make sure we get this breaking news in here from our own Jake Gibson. It is unclear, we are learning, if or when Weiss will testify before Congress.
Okay, now, I asked him in a letter that I wrote July the 27th, did you tell investigators on or about October 7th that you're not the deciding person on whether charges are to be filed? The whistleblower says on October 7th, 2022, Weiss told the team, I was overruled. It's not my decision what to charge or where to charge it. I asked Mr. Weiss in a letter, is that true or not? He better answer. Changing special counsels, becoming a special counsel does not absolve him of the obligation to answer questions legitimate by United States senators and House members. So I think they're trying to shut down the congressional investigation. To my House colleagues, you've done a wonderful job. I've tried to be helpful. We're not going to let this go. Mr. Weiss, you're not off the hook here. This Friday afternoon gambit is not going to work. We're going to continue to ask questions about the biggest sweetheart deal in the history of America. We're not going away in Congress.
Senator, Democratic strategists are weighing in on Twitter already now saying, look, Republicans have been calling for months for a special counsel. Now they've got one has been appointed, and they're complaining about the timing. They're complaining about who it is. Republicans were never going to be happy and admit that this whole process was indeed fair. What do you say to that?
To my Democratic colleagues, if you think you're going to get away with this, you're crazy. Mr. Weiss has been compromised. His whole team, to me, has been compromised. The sweetheart plea deal was written for Hunter Biden in a way that no American would get advantage of that deal. The whistleblower tells us that the Weiss team has been suppressed during the entire investigation. They let the statute of limitations run out. So, no, I don't trust the Weiss team to get to the bottom of what Hunter Biden and Joe Biden may have done. Again, you tried to put out a political fire, you actually pour gasoline on it. Who in their right mind believes that changing the title of what you call Mr. Weiss solves all the problems associated with Mr. Weiss? Nobody.
Really, really interesting. We continue to get a lot of reaction here. Your colleague Jim Jordan in the House says first David Weiss said he didn't have the power he needed
Right.
and wanted special counsel status. Then he said he had all the power he needs. Now he gets special counsel status because he didn't really have the power he needs. Something's not right. And to that point, his final point there, Senator, people at home see this playing out. They see the lack of coverage, et cetera. But the New York Times actually this morning took it up and actually acknowledged Hunter Biden's investigation and called it these dueling realities right now.
Yeah.
But the American people are watching this and they feel that many feel the same way. Something's not right. What's your message to them?
Well, you know, we're not stupid here. I mean, a Friday afternoon news conference where you change the title of a compromised investigator doesn't get you to where you want to go. This was a dumb political decision. It's impossible for the New York Times and the Washington Post not to cover this now because they made a big deal about giving him special counsel status, which he told Jim Jordan he didn't need because he already had all the authority he wanted. What changed between June and now? Nothing other than politics. This plea deal fell apart. If it had not been for that judge, this would be over. The judge resurrected this case by shining a light on a sweetheart deal. They're going to have to answer the questions of Senator Graham and Jim Jordan and everybody else about how this unfolded. This was a dumb political decision to try to solve a legal problem they've created for themselves. Nobody in America is going to buy that he becomes special counsel all is well.
Senator, we don't know right now, based on what the DOJ has said publicly, whether or not this probe includes the president or not.
There was no probe.
Whether it will.
Andy's right.
But if this does take a turn,
well, sure,
if this probe does take a turn to include the president, right? Do you have any more confidence in Weiss's ability to investigate there?
Andy was right. The bottom line is, I used to do this for a living too. What prosecutor would allow a guy to plead guilty while he's still under investigation for other things? That makes no sense. There was no ongoing investigation. When the judge exposed a sweetheart deal, the prosecutor said, no, we're still looking at things. Well, the defense attorney went nuts. I promise you the defense attorney was told this will end the matter. And when the judge found out this was a non-kosher deal, the prosecutor panicked and said, no, there's still an ongoing investigation. I don't believe there was ever an ongoing investigation. Andy McCarthy is right. Nobody in the Department of Justice is looking at Hunter and Joe Biden for this conflict of interest, these financial crimes. They were going to put it together, put it to bed with this plea deal. Now it is alive and well. Again, the dumbest thing they could have done is what they did do.
Well, quick follow-up to that. We only have a second left, Senator. If they had appointed somebody else from outside government, special counsel today, would you feel more confident?
Absolutely.
In the probe?
It would have been a step in the right direction to put new eyes on it. As Andy said, somebody outside the government without a bias. They have really made all of their problems worse.
All right, Senator Lindsey Graham, thanks so much for joining us in this moment. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.